Hello and welcome back to Assetto Corsa EVO. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. And in today's video, I'm going to be taking out a Toyota Corolla Sprinter Terreno AE86 and pitting it against a Toyota Corolla AE86, which will be pit against a Toyota Corolla AE86 from an anime/manga. And that, of course, is going to be the Initial D one. I'm going to be starting with this one. This is the Terreno Corki edition, which is, if you look at the back of it, eventually we'll show you the back, the rear lights are a little different. I do not think it has any upgrades or anything like that. This is a bog standard model. And then I'm going to be taking it out against a version, like a black edition, which seems to be quite tuned, and then that is going to go against the Initial D version. So, let's get started. There isn't much else to say. These are three variants of a car that was added in version 0.5. There it is. There are the backlights. Just basically, let's just see what happens and which car feels like what. Take it out at, I think let's choose Suzuka. I think Suzuka Circuit is probably the best option. Right, what I am going to do is make sure that every vehicle has the same amount of fuel, and I'm going to have the same road tyres on them, and we are going to see how they drive. No other tuning, no other changes. We'll do a few laps in each, and this is going to be nice because it is just going to be on the side of the road that I'm used to driving on, so that should be or the side of the car that I'm used to driving on, so that should be pretty good. Let's go ahead and have the headlamps on for each one. Why did I not see the headlamps actually come up? That's fine. One thing that I am going to point out is I have no idea why none of the internal needles, the display does not light up. And I know that these ones do. These light up green. I know that. Oh, this is very, very, sounds very good. And immediately the drive of this is like a 90s car. Or like an old car, actually. Not a 90s car, an 80s vehicle. You really have to rev this car out to get anything out of it. This is good. This is actually pretty good. Now, with the drivetrain on this car, I'm wondering if I'm going to have trouble feeling it with my wheel at the limit. And I think I might, just because of the issues that I've mentioned in the previous videos about how the tyres or force feedback or something is just communicating to the driver. Still confused as to why the display is not lighting up inside, because I have experience in these cars. I know what colour the display is supposed to be. Bit of a lock-up, just the tiniest lock-up there. Ready, push the engine. Of course, this does not have much power. We're talking just over 100 horsepower, I think, in one of these. I'm not exactly certain of the figures. I will say it does turn in very well, but that would make sense. It is a Toyota Corolla. It's designed to be one of those cars that should be nimble enough to drive around narrow Japanese streets, or also in the case of, in the UK, British streets. I think that is one of the reasons we used to have a lot of Japanese cars in the UK, is because we have very small roads, and of course European roads also are pretty small, narrow, but Japanese cars, not only were they come on, interesting feeling there, not only were they small, the wheel is on the right side of the car for us from the get-go, so that is a good thing. Slight amount of understeer, but honestly, it's a nice little car to drive. I can immediately see people tuning this car incredibly in this game, modifying it quite a bit for various different applications. I can see people making drift machines out of this, of course. I can also see people trying to make racing cars, proper racing cars, and street racing cars as well, out of this vehicle. This is one of those, I think, now I've tried 4 cars from version 0.5, and the one that I thought maybe would not be my least favourite at the moment, or my least preferred, is now my least preferred, and that is the Caterham. I'd say the Caterham, followed by the rest of the... And that is not to say the Caterham is bad. That is the thing. The Caterham is not bad. This just feels a little bit better. Very nimble vehicle. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, that is no good. I really like the mechanical delay as well. Very, very much appreciate and like that mechanical delay that you can feel between your throttle application and the actual cable pulling and the throttle being applied. And you can hear it as well in the way it responds. They have done a very, very good job with this. I suppose they had to, given that they were going to make the Initial D version of this too. It makes sense that they would have to do that. Now all you need is a bit of Eurobeat, right? I think it's called Eurobeat. What a strange thing that song was, Deja Vu. Written for a Japanese anime in English, sang by... was it a German that sang it? I'm not entirely certain. But certainly it was not an Englishman who sang it, but it's written in English for a Japanese anime. Welcome to the 1990s. This is a good car, and I think that for free roam this car is going to be even better. Now, the question is, and I think I have to check this, is there going to be a cup of water in the... Is there going to be a cup of water in the anime version of this car? I'm talking about the anime edition. Because if there is, I have not checked this. If there is, that is going to be quite a good little Easter egg. Kind of want to keep doing laps in this. It is that good. And I'm starting to get a handle on how it drives. Really am starting to get a handle on how this vehicle drives. And this is very, very good. Extremely good vehicle. You can understand why this vehicle sold, or why Toyota sold as many units of this vehicle as they did. Just from its driving characteristics. I think one more lap of this will do quite nicely, as I'm starting to feel the limits, the dynamics of the vehicle. I'm still not confident on the edge of on the limit of the grip, because I seem to lose feeling at that limit. But aside from that, everywhere else this is very, very nimble, useful, interesting to drive. Maybe I should let the revs drop just a little bit more before I engage the next gear. There we go. Just try not to jolt the car. That is better. Just half a second. It takes half a second just to hang on. That was too slow. Way too slow through there. Can I make up for it on the exit? Not really. 0.3 of a second lost. And I think the run out of this was not as fast as the last lap either. That was a bit too fast a change. Slight amount of understeer, but also pretty good. Still 1.4 seconds. That was a pretty good flat shift. 2 minutes 45, 369. I think that will do. That is a good sound as well. Okay, let's have a quick look at the replay and see what we got. So what was it? 245, 369. That is what I am going up against. Let's take a quick peek at the replay. We'll just watch the last lap, shall we? Lights look very, very dim. Right. So I'll just make a quick note of this so that I do not forget. 245, 369. There we go. I think they do need to work on the lights, the lighting a bit. It's not quite as yes. But overall, Good. You can see sort of the suspension travel. You can see the roll, the body roll on the car. But this is a good baseline car. And Toyotas of that generation really were. The Corolla, after that, they had the Crown, the Carina, and then they built things like the Yaris. I think the first generation Yaris, apart from tough clutch, was pretty good. Then they built the Avensis, which was no. Then they had the next Corolla. The Corollas were always generally very good. And then they went to an Auris and then back to Corolla, and got a little bit confusing. And then I learnt that Toyota tend to call half their cars Crown, which would make sense. Corolla apparently means crown, Carina means crown. Crown, they have a crown itself called Crown. So, yes. But overall, this is a very, very nice vehicle. Good baseline for tuning and for modifying. Shall we move to a different vehicle? I think I want to take a picture of this vehicle first somewhere. Where would I take a picture of this vehicle where it would look the best? I think on the exit of this turn, right there, I think is where it would look best. So let me get into position. Not like that. Maybe like so, and then we will go slightly back. And the reason for this is because I've noticed that otherwise the wheels will look still, and I do not want that. Hopefully that caught it. I haven't. It looks like it did, but I have no idea whether that would have looked any good. So we'll have to wait and see. I'll save that. Let's go choose a different version of the Corolla. See how different it sounds. Might sound entirely different. So the next version that I have is this one. It is Black Limited Edition. It is Black Limited Edition, but I think this is a Zenki. No, this is also. Should have used the other version. Wow, that has a. I think they want you to know that this is the Black Limited Edition. Quite nice. I think it still has a standard wheel. I thought it might have the Admiral wheel, but there we go. Same conditions. Going to see how this drives. I'm not sure if this has the 20 valve engine or still with the 16 valve. We're about to find out. Just to double check, make sure. Oh, actually, I just noticed that it does tell you what wheels what tyres it's on just there. Good. Okay. Oh no, apparently that is lit up. Just not very well lit up. Let's put beams on for this one. I thought they used to have green dials. There's a mixture. I'm sure the numbers were green. Well, this feels different. Or this, at least power-wise. We'll do maybe less laps in this because now I know the basic handling dynamics of the Corolla. I'm sure the dials used to be green, the switch, I'm sure of it, or at least the needle used to be green. Even if the numbers were not. That little green bulb in it. It feels a little bit more stable around the corners. Exhaust is more bassy, has more power. Definitely has more power. It's not. Oh dear. Okay, brakes are not that great. So standard brakes, more power, but it does have standard brakes. Trying to figure out, is the throttle response a little better? No, it is. I think the throttle response is very similar on this vehicle. It is definitely a faster vehicle though. Rides a little bit flatter. It's a little bit more. I can feel the bumps a little bit more, so it is a bit stiffer as well. I have to check how many gears this has if I get a chance to. But it does have a bit more. I will say it does have a bit more understeer than I was expecting. Definitely has more understeer than expected. Fourth. I think 5 is all it has. Of course, the needle is still climbing on this one. I think on the previous one it just stopped. Yes, I think 5 is all it has. Still needs third for the S's. Although I think it is slightly higher in the rev range than previously. Only ever so slightly. That might just be because I'm able to carry a little bit more speed through it. I'm expecting this to be maybe a couple of seconds up on the standard Corolla. I'm struggling a touch with the brakes. What was the standard one? 245, 369? 639? 369, I think. Yeah, 36912, yeah. So 245, 369. So we're looking at, I'm going to guess this is going to be perhaps a 43. That being said, you also have to take into account the fact that I'm getting more and more used to this platform. That is a little better. Understeer. Bit of understeer. Not a lot. Easily useful. Actually useful for pushing the car out to the outside. So not too bad overall. I feel like I can hold fourth gear a little bit longer in this car. And somehow it is I did say it'd be in the 243s. I think I can get it in the 243s. So I was not that far off, actually. Trying to really push, nope. Although, I will say that catching the car is not... This is a very stable platform. We'll do a couple of laps. A couple more laps. Can I put this in fourth and see what happens? No, I think fourth just... The car is not flat enough and cannot push the rear around enough in fourth, in my opinion. That was a bad shift. So I think this has minor engine tuning, possibly, and it is mainly suspension. When I say engine tuning, I think it's just a bigger exhaust, a bit more horsepower, a bit more horsepower overall, but it is mainly, predominantly, it's his cornering characteristics that this vehicle is better in. And it still feels similar, feels very similar to the other one. So it is still recognizable, in my opinion, as an AE86 Corolla. It has the same or very similar driving characteristics. An anti-roll bar would be nice on this. I think rear-wheel drive vehicle, so front upgraded or uprated front anti-roll bar, stiffen that up. It does feel a bit more understeery though. Pushing that. Okay, so even with a bad lap, it was not that far. It was not that far behind the original Toyota. The original lap set by the stock Corolla. There is a bit more understeer in this one. But I think it has better turning. Yes, I think it has better turning and a little bit more power. Just enough to help it up these. Just enough to help it up these hills, actually. Cool. Interesting drive, interesting comparison. Keep it in the lines, which is there, done. Good. And I'm trying to judge whether this has better throttle response. I do not think it does. I think the throttle response is almost identical, if not identical. And it is just the power. Power and suspension, really, on this vehicle. Not sure the little wing at the back is doing anything either. So, oh look, I was slow through that again, just like I was that in the last vehicle. But 244.853, but I thought I could get a little bit more than that. I probably could have if I had not messed that up there, but that's okay. Yes, definitely a little bit more understeery. At high speed anyway. Oh dear. Managed to get about 0.2 faster. I can definitely get more than that. Should we try one more time? One more lap, shall we? If it does not go wrong, which it has gone wrong. Nope, that has sold it for me. That's told me that I should stop. I knew I was going into that corner way too quickly. Okay, let's have a look at the replay of this one. We'll just take a look at the fastest lap, shall we? There we are. sounds different. Of course, it has slightly different looks. Bit more of a tin can exhaust, so it has that sound. It is not that loud though. That is not that loud, which is always a good thing. I find that a lot of cars now have extremely loud exhausts when you mod them anyway. My car included, but I do not think my car is extremely loud. I know that there are variants that I could make extremely loud. If anything, I was told that my car actually with the modified exhaust I actually have is actually quieter. Ever so slightly, but it is quieter. This is also interesting how you start driving these vehicles. You start adapting your driving to work with the vehicle a little bit more. So, for example, with this one, I might need a couple of stabs at the brakes just to for the high-speed turning, just to unsettle the back of the car a bit. Whereas in a more modern car, that is not necessary. You just slam on the brakes and that is it. Or quick stab and turn in. This takes a little bit more engagement, and I do think that is pretty good. That is something that Assetto Corsa have got fairly well done. Again, little niggles here and there for me with this car. The lights, the brake lights, the indicators, they are flashing with the intensity or the rate of, not the intensity, the rate of an LED, and the suddenness of an LED with the currents coming on and off, as opposed to heating a filament and that lights up and then the filament cools down and so on and so forth. It is different. Let's get a bit of a lockup. Ever so slightly on the brakes, just a slight amount of locking, trying to compensate for that, and that is that lap. That was not that bad. Right. So that was a... yeah, no, you know what? I'll save that as well. You never know. That was a... let's find out. 244,703. So that is 244,703. Honestly, only half a second faster. I do think I could have got a second faster, but the car felt better. The car did feel better. Just my driving just did not improve. And now for Fujiwara's tofu shop. Let's go deliver some tofu, shall we? Oh, no, before we do that, I need to check this. I did say I wanted to check. So select the car. That one, customize. I need to see inside. Customize the vehicle. Is there a water bottle? Oh, sorry, a cup of water anywhere inside this vehicle? You know what? I want to be inside. Let's go inside. Let's have a look. Oh. Well, that's a shame. Although this looks very, very interesting inside. That's the TRD setup as well. Okay. This should have a tuned engine. So we are going to give this a go as the final vehicle for this episode. 15 minutes in this one should do the trick. Supercar tires, no. Track map, no. Road car. Not cheating on this. Road tires. How much power does this car have? Here we go. Okay, well, that sounds different. That's a very tuned engine. And it has the green display there, and that is more like what I recognise. With the, well, not yellow, but green. Okay. Well, this is going to be fast. Right, it's time to deliver some tofu down, well, not mountain passes, but around Suzuka. Should have picked Fuji. Should have picked Fuji Speedway. Fujiwara's Tofu Shop. Fuji Speedway. Right near Fujiyama. And also, that would be closer to where this would be. This car is slidey. This car is Initial D. That means this might not be a fast... This may not be a fast time, because this car is designed to go around corners sideways. It has been tuned for... Yep, it has been tuned for sideways behaviour. I can immediately tell that. This is going to be very quick. Now, which stage of Initial D is this from, is the question. This is obviously not stage 1. Because I know the car was tuned back then, but not to this extent, I do not think. It was... This is different. And I'm fairly sure it did not have 6 gears in stage 1. This is probably final stage. Okay, the car handles interestingly. The colour in the car, the purple, whatever, burgundy, whatever it is lovely. It looks very, very nice. This has uprated brakes as well. Yep, this definitely has uprated brakes. Now, I do not want to go in the pits. Okay, so this car is definitely not quite in track configuration. How far does this rev? 11,500? This is definitely not first stage, second stage, or third stage. By that, I'm referring to. So that is what they call the seasons in the anime. Instead of season 1, season 2, season 3, they call it first stage, second stage, special stage, third stage, etc. Now this is not a track-ready car. Assetto Corsa Rally now available. I need to get back to playing that. And I'm going to try and, let me see what happens. I'm going to try and fight the slidey behaviour of this car. And see, it should be easy enough to tame. Now that I know sort of what to expect. Maybe not there. So in the slow speed corners, the car just wants to go. And I do not have anything set up in order to allow me to do that. So in the low speed corners, it is very easy for the car to rotate. That is where I have to be more careful. So around Spoon here, this should be okay. But around Casio Triangle, we are going to have issues. Or not. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it's just under braking. I've got to rev match that a lot better to prevent the back from stepping out. .206, 207. He wants to step out there as well. There we go. A little bit more control. This is no normal 8.6. 2 minutes 37.6. Yeah, it's very difficult to get this car to... So, getting the car to slide, for example, just like that, that is not a problem. That actually is not an issue. Getting the car to not slide, that is an issue. Very, very interesting. So it's... But that makes sense. That is how this car... So Kunos have done a good job here. They have made a drift car. Now they just need one of some tracks from the area or some of the mountain passes to try this out on. And then I guess what I have to do is really power out of these corners with throttle control, just because that is how this car is designed to work. And even with the sliding, I'm 3 seconds up. I think that just shows how this car is meant to be driven. Not quite what I wanted to do, but it's fine. It is absolutely fine. Push it, push it, push it. Not trusting it through 130R. Having a colossal accident. Excellent on the brakes. .234 401. Maybe one more lap. Yep, sliding is the way to go. Sliding this car is definitely the way to go. Nope, but I am not capable of doing that. So I have no idea how to feel the car. Again, on the limit, this is where they do need to improve this. It might just... Oh, stupid clutch. That is where they might need to improve. And maybe it's just my settings that I'm not able to feel. So I cannot feel that I'm having to do more from a visual perspective. See that where it snaps back, there's absolutely no feeling whatsoever. Or not no feeling, no warning that it is going to snap back. But anyway, that was a pretty good look at this vehicle. There, that snap back there. Just absolutely no feeling. So I have no idea when it is going to do it. I cannot catch it because I cannot feel the vehicle starting to go. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the replay. Of course, this was the lap, wasn't it? And then we will end this video. So, Toyota versus Toyota versus Toyota, Corolla versus Corolla versus Corolla, AE86 cubed. Sure. sounds a bit tinny. But that's the way it just held its way through that slide was pretty good. Even there, you can just see that I'm endlessly counter-steering the vehicle. I mean, I should probably try this. In all honesty, I should try this and see whether I can actually get better at it. But I would like to be able to feel what I'm doing. That would be very, very useful for me. The speed that car just goes at. Where's my... That's one massive slide. So you'll see that part was fine, and then that catch at the end, that catch into the transition, there's no feel. Is there one where I have a bit more? Is it this one that I actually did do a bit of sliding there? But then it just goes. I want to try and get a screenshot of that moment there. That is what I'm going... Where am I? There I am. Let's go ahead and do that. And that is where we shall end this video. So... Oh, definitely that right. That right there could be... Oh, but I want to see... No, that right there could be the screenshot. Yes. Right, so I'll do that. I will then hold that in place, go back a little bit, and then I will make sure that this plays at half speed, and then at quarter speed, so that I can take the screenshot as we come in there. Excellent. And that is that. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to click on the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Assetto Corsa EVO. Leave a comment in the comments box below. Let me know what you think. Have you mastered this car? I'm assuming many people have. I just need to, I suppose, learn it and have a different what I want to be able to feel so that I can drive the car does not quite appear to be there yet. But maybe I just need a lot of practice. If you want to do so, you can check out my Patreon, my social media, and my Discord server. Link to all of those in the description box below. That is all from me and some pretty bad sliding of a Toyota AE86. And I shall see you next time. Where should we go? Maybe should we go check out the Porsche, the new Porsche, with all of its various different modes? Yes, I think that is probably the best idea, so I might do that next.